Well, I think we played a good football team today, a good Division II team. I said that all week. Just watching their first two games, you really couldn't tell how good they were because, their first two opponents were not very good. Stillman and Shaw. So it's kind of hard to tell. We knew they had players and good players. We felt like I feel like our guys came out and played. I took care of business, and it could have been a lot different of a game. I mean, they had some opportunities they didn't make. We definitely had some opportunities that we didn't make. We laid the ball on the ground today, which we don't want to do. It's not typical of us. The first time we've had a fumble all year, we just don't want to do that. Offensively played better, because they had some players defensively, and it's good to see us make a lot of explosive plays. I think we had second most yards in school history with 600, whatever it was, 30 yards and 36 first downs. So we played three quarterbacks, and all of those guys were productive. Special teams wise, I thought we took a step forward today. I thought we did, a whole lot better today, special teams wise. And not that we played bad special teams wise, but I felt like we got a lot better. Our kicker did a good job. Rulo kicked the ball well. We had good kick coverage for most of the day. And then kickoff return was pretty good as well. We just kind of left them in the game, and there at the end, it's 45-14. With 9 minutes left to go in the game, and then we kind of get some young guys in, want to get them some experience, and we blow two coverages right there with a couple of young guys, and they made us pay for it. They had two long pass plays that kind of served them up two touchdowns to make the game look like it was close at the end. But take my hat off of them. They played extremely hard. I mean, they really did. They had no quit in them. That staff is doing a great job with what they got. They will be a contender, in the Gulf South. I mean, they'll be right at the top of that conference, I believe, and there's no quit in them. They kept battling and battling and battling, and I told our guys at halftime, I said, they're not going away. Halftime we could have been up probably 30. We wasn't. They're in the game, and you just knew they was going to come to play and come to battle. So that's just kind of the way the game was. It's good to get that first home win. This year we had a great crowd. It was very, right at 20,000, 19,000 something, and so it was a good home, crowd, good fun atmosphere for our gang. And take my hat off to our game day crew, and they just did a good job and make it fun for our fans. I think our fans have a great time, tailgating before the game and during the game, because I feel like we're fun to watch, and it was a good football game. Open it up for questions now.
Third down conversion number doesn't look all that good. It's hard to complain if you get 630 yards, but talk about third downs.
Well, third down, we got to make some plays. I mean, we more plays. We and I hadn't even looked at it. What is it now? 4 or 14. Yeah, we got to do better. I mean, and that probably led to some punts that we shouldn't have had, and we had some penalties. We had some penalties where we were in some. Had some hold calls, and we got backed up, and we were in some third and long situations, which kind of attributed to that. And we got to not get ourselves in a third and long situation and convert a little bit better, there, and keep drives going. And I think it hurt us. We get down there and get close to the red zone and kind of get a hold call, or have a bad play and take us out of a drive where we could have scored a few more. Hey, he's become a go-to guy. We was just talking about it on radio. He's just dependent. He led us in receiving last year, and did a good job there. And he's just growing up and is making plays. He's not going to wow you with speed or anything like that, but he just gets the job done. He's very great ball skills. With the ball in the air, he makes plays. He goes and gets the ball. He's fearless when he goes up and gets it, and he's sure-handed and runs great routes, and he just has a knack about getting open. And I think our quarterbacks are real comfortable throwing in the ball. We try to get him the ball. And he did a good job today, I think, with the ball in space. We got the ball out there to him on a couple of screens, and he made some guys miss, and and did a good job there. But and our whole receiving core, I thought, they played better. Ruben Gonzalez had his first big catch, and we'll continue to try to get the ball to him. Marquise Merrill, kind of back and making catches on deep. We threw the deep ball better today than what we have been throwing. That's something we got to do. We're going to take shots. We'd love to take 10, 12 shots a game, and, we need to at least hit, half of them for explosive plays. So that's something we got to continue. It just helps your offense. When you can stretch somebody vertically down the field, it helps you a ton.
Coach having the luxury of three quarterbacks come in and be successful as they play.
Well, I was glad to get Christian in the game today. It was good to get LeMay in, and he did a real good job. Scored in 2 or 3 plays his first drive, and I've said it all season. That is a spot where we have a lot of depth. We're very comfortable with all 3 of those guys in the game. At any time you'll start to see down the line. It may be a down and distance deal where we use Max. We knew Max was going to probably play the 4th series of the game, and probably the 3rd series of the second half, and he played well when he come in. He's probably had the best fall camp, and probably playing as good as he's ever played in his career. He's taking care of the football really well, and Eli didn't play bad. Eli played well. All 3 of them did a lot of good things today, and got to continue to get better. So it's I think that competition in that room has made all 3 of them better. And even the one we didn't get in the game today, Kyle West is not a bad player either. We'd love to have gotten him in the game today, but he was about to get in, and they had those two long plays where we didn't get him in. But Kyle's a good football player as well.
Had 2 guys rush for over 100, and one of them wasn't DeMarcus.
Well, it is interesting. That's right. And we probably didn't give it to DeMarcus enough in the second half. We kind of protected him. We had a lead going into conference play. Next week, wanted to give the ball to the other 2. And the other 2 are good football players too. I think Jermaine Pope probably had the best game of his career here. Today, he may have had some more yardage in a game before, but I know the best run he's ever had of his career was today. A phenomenal run. You thought he was down probably 2 or 3 times on a run. He just showed how much power he has. He's one of our strongest guys on our team. He is he's the fastest guy on our team, especially with Telvin Brown being out. Him and Telvin are neck to neck when they run, and those guys have exceptional speed. But I think you'll see a lot of good things from Pope as the season goes on, and he it translates. He had his best practice, and he's not a bad practice player, but he had his best practice this week, and he was determined. You've seen how he ran the ball in practice. He had a great week, and it showed up on the field. We kind of challenged him, and he came to play this week during practice, and it showed up. And Miles is very dependable. What you see is what you get with him. He's kind of a blue-collar guy, and he's not going to wow you as much as what DeMarcus is. He's not going to wow you as much as what Buster is with the ability that Pope has. But Miles has just had some good carries today too. He had some good runs.
Pope said in here that he thought of himself as more of a finesse runner, but the coaches had kind of been on him to be tough.
That's right. Well, and that's what we want him to turn into. We want to turn into a power runner. He's so strong. He don't have to run around everybody. And that's one of the things he got better at today. He ran the ball in between tackles a lot better. We know he can run the ball out in space. But he ran the ball in between tackles a lot better today, and hopefully he'll continue to grow in that and get better.
It got a little chippy at times into the first half. Something happened. Later on, what can you do?
Well, there was a lot of extracurricular, after the play, and we had some things that they missed, some things that they saw, some things like that, and it was just even right there to the end of the game, there was still a lot of that stuff going on, and we try to tell our players, keep your composure. They're always going to get the second guy. There were some things that happened in the pile with Folo that he retaliated on. It's not very good things I'm not going to talk about, but he's just got to be more mature than that, And he's just he hurt our football team today by doing what he did at the end of the half. And then told officials at halftime, they cleaned some of it up. They had the 2, 15 yards on the same play, and that was all that was after the game, and they were taking shots at us and and things like that. But we got to be smarter than that for sure.
Will Folo miss?
No, he'll be back. He'll be fine.
I thought the 99-yard drive late in the third quarter, you got some distance from. I thought that might have been the turning point. I mean, just talk a little about that drive, how important that was.
I think it was. I think it's huge. We were up end of the half, 24-7. We took a timeout, hoping we're going to get the ball back, maybe get another one in, or a field goal right there at the end, and they did a great job. We gave up a ball or a drive we shouldn't have got. It's probably as bad as our defense has played, probably all year. That last drive they had right before half, and they closed the gap 24-14, and we don't go in with a 24-7 lead. So, and then we come out there and have 2 bad drives, and like you said, I think that was a turning point in the game. The 99-yard drive, and taking, because we had bad field position, that third quarter. So to take that ball and be dominant with it and get the ball down and get in the end zone, I really do think that opened stuff up.
Finally forced a turnover.
Yes, finally.
Talk about that.
Yes, and that's one thing our defense wants to do. We want to create more takeaways, and we had, defense has played great, but we want to have more takeaways. So it's good to score on defense. So that was a great play out of Huff, and he did a good job with the ball in the air, intercepting it, taking it back for 6, and doing a good job. But we want to get the ball on the ground more too. We'd like to have some more strips and get some more fumbles and things like that. So hopefully down the line we'll get better at that.
Anything else? All right.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it, okay?